In the age of digital sales and subscription services, gamers have amassed libraries that rival the Library of Congress. Except instead of historic documents, ours are filled with The Witcher 3, Hollow Knight, and that one farming simulator we swore we'd totally get around to. Thanks to Steam sales and Game Pass, the dreaded backlog looms over us like a final boss we're way too underleveled to face. Instead of feeling excitement about our gaming options, we feel guilt, indecision, and that ever-haunting question: why did I buy Goat Simulator 3? Let's take a step back, because backlogs weren't always a thing. In the good old days, getting a new game was an event. You'd mow lawns, babysit a neighbor's demon spawn, or scrounge through the cushions for weeks to afford a single cartridge. That one game, it was your life. You played it over and over, milked every secret, and convinced yourself it was still fun even when your little brother erased your save file. Now, we've got Steam sales that practically scream, "Buy 10 games you'll never touch for the price of a latte!" It's so easy to hit add to library, promising yourself you'll play it next weekend. And then you spend the next weekend watching Netflix because choosing what to play from your library of 300 games feels like sorting tax documents. And let's not forget the social pressure. Everyone online is screaming about the game of the year. If you haven't played Elden Ring by now, are you even a gamer? So you buy it, add it to the backlog, and stare at it every week like it's a gym membership you signed up for but never use. The backlog transforms gaming from an escape into a chore. Each unplayed game becomes a nagging voice in your head. You spent $60 on me, and I'm just sitting here gathering virtual dust. Didn't you promise you'd finally play me this summer? Hey, I'm Dark Souls. Remember how you said you wanted to challenge yourself? Instead of joy, you just feel guilt. Instead of diving into a game, you scroll through your library for so long that by the time you choose something, it's bedtime. You become like a hungry person at a buffet who ends up eating nothing but the breadsticks because the options are just too much. Oh, and let's not forget modern games themselves. Back in the day, you could finish a game in 8 to 12 hours. Now, they all promise 80 plus hours of content. That's not a game. That's a part-time job. Every open world RPG feels like it's secretly mocking you.
You haven't discovered half the map. Only 3% of players have this achievement. Congrats on finishing the main story. Here's 400 side quests and a DLC expansion.
So, what the hell do we do to reignite the fun? Well, first of all, no one's grading you on your backlog. There isn't like a gaming Illuminati keeping track of what games you've finished. Give yourself permission to drop a game if it's not fun, because life's too short to slog through something just because you feel obligated. Remember, the only person judging you is probably still stuck on the second boss of Sekiro. Also, just forget your backlog. Ask yourself right now, what do I actually feel like playing? Maybe it's Skyrim for the 20th time. Maybe it's that one indie game with a goose stealing sandwiches. Follow the spark of joy, not what your Steam library is telling you to do. For a moment, imagine your backlog isn't a mountain to conquer, but like a fine wine collection. You're not trying to chug everything at once, you're savoring a selection. Pick a couple of games that fit your mood and forget the rest for now. Just because everyone's yelling at you that you're drinking a low-shelf bottle of wine, that doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. It might not be as fun of a drunk. I think another thing to mention is sometimes the best way to get back into gaming again is to stop gaming completely. Go outside, touch some grass, or don't. There's no XP in that actually. But seriously, take a breather, and that can reset your perspective. You might even return to your backlog with fresh eyes and realize you actually want to play that roguelite dungeon crawler you impulse bought at 2 a.m. I'm looking at you, Dead Cells. Here's the thing though. Most of us will never actually finish our backlogs, and that's okay. Gaming isn't about ticking boxes, it's about creating moments. Remember that hilarious glitch in Skyrim where the troll shoots you up in the air when he smacks you and you go crazy into the sky? Or how about that time you spent 3 hours decorating your house in The Sims instead of actually playing the game? These are the moments that matter, not whether you saw the end credits. Because I can guarantee you most of you have never seen the end credits to Skyrim. I know, I've seen the Steam chart achievements. However, if you are buying new games, try this simple rule. For every new game you buy, play one game from your backlog. It's kind of like gaming karma, except instead of spiritual enlightenment, you get a sense of smug satisfaction when you finally uninstall Dragon Age Inquisition after 6 years. Thanks, Dragon Age. Very cool. At the end of the day, here's the truth. Gaming is supposed to be fun. It's about joy, discovery, and sometimes yelling at your TV because that boss fight is definitely unfair. It's not about completing every single game you own or keeping up with what everyone else is playing. So let go of the guilt. Laugh at your backlog instead of letting it stress you out, and see what it really is, a collection of adventures waiting for you whenever the mood strikes. Whether you're slaying dragons, planting virtual crops, or accidentally launching your car into a river in GTA, the point isn't to finish, it's to enjoy the ride. Because at the end of the day, you didn't become a gamer to feel stressed. You did it because video games are freaking awesome. Also because it's much easier to save a world from the apocalypse than actually doing my real life chores and folding laundry and shit. Yeah, I really need to get around to that. Oopsies.